Dead in Hip Hop album review. Grip. I died for this. Exclamation mark, question mark. Those are very important. You already know how he does. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a bios, very abbreviated. He's from East Atlanta. He signed to Shady Records. This is the Shady debut. Go listen to Snubnose. You welcome. But talking about Snubnose, then hip hop wouldn't have known about Snubnose if it wasn't for this man right here. Ja, introduce yourself, man.
What up, good people? My name is Ja. If you see me on the internet, you might see me as Hip Hop Obama. I'm a rap fan before anything else. Like, that's just, I appreciate good rap music. I appreciate good local artists, and like Grip is one of those guys. When I first heard Snubnose, it's funny because it was a day kind of like today. It was pouring rain outside. I don't know what it is about grip drops and rain, but when I first heard it, I was just blown away. My first instinct was, let me call everybody I know that fucks with dope ass, real ass hip hop, even though I hate the phrase real hip hop, and just let me see if they see what I'm seeing and hear what I'm hearing, because this shit is crazy. Hit y'all up, like, just let me know what's going on.
Yep, you sure
and
did.
Everybody's reaction was the same. I was like, okay, we on the right path. Like, this kid is one of those. And I just been, I've been a fan of him, been able to just meet him and us being able to be cool, and that's a good brother, man. Talented dude though, super talented.
100%.
How did you catch wind of him?
It was random. It was on my Twitter timeline.
Wow.
I didn't know anybody that had told me about it. It wasn't like a recommendation.
Wow.
I just said, this artwork looks dope. Like the hand, the snub nose, the shadows, the red background, the way it was written.
It did look
like
dope, yeah.
Like Tarantino
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction or something. I was like, okay. A3C was that same weekend, and he had performed somewhere. I missed the show. I didn't even know about him at that point. It was a Sunday. I was riding the Spondivus. I was like, give me some crab legs. It was pouring outside, and I was like, I'm gonna play this album. And I got 2-3 tracks in the Snubnose, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? This dude is just out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just off of, I seen it on my timeline. Let me just see what it's about. And it happened to be Grip.
Yeah, and the crazy part too, me and Ken doing DE365. If you don't know what the fuck that is, man, you fucking up. Me and Ken been doing a review a day for all of 2021. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you go subscribe to the Dead in Hip Hop podcast. But we did 2 Grip joints. One that he did last year during COVID, which was a small EP with his producer too. We got to meet too. And then the Proboscidea one. I can honestly say every time I throw on Grip, I come away entertained like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? We were invited to, preview this album, and in the moment, it sounded amazing. And that motherfucker sound even more amazing now that I have it and we've been listening to it, because man, like, he's so intricate. Yeah. He's so intricate with his rhyme scheme. The production is getting bigger and bigger, the bigger he gets. He's just fucking amazing, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little overwhelmed, like in the moment in the studio, listening to all of the different sounds. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? It was just like track after track after track after track. And it's just like, you don't have time to just absorb it. So having it and just absorbing it, I'm just like, yo, I admire guys like this, man, because the creativity, he's not just rapping the rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's content and messaging. Purpose behind the music, which is why I said the exclamation and the question mark are very important. When you listen to this album, man, I think the definition of progression, the definition of pushing the boundary, this shit is just, it's on a whole nother level, bro. Like, this shit is stupid in a good way.
Like, in the best possible way.
In the best possible way. Like, it's loud, it's in your face. And the crazy part about it is Grip is the calming factor on this whole shit. Everything is crazy, and Grip is like, yo, I'm just running my race. You know what I'm saying? You can't fucking move him off of his stance, man. Like, this nigga is one of the best Atlanta niggas that I done heard. You know what I'm saying? And if he continues on this trajectory, he's gonna be one of the best Atlanta niggas ever. Like, it's simple as that. Like, he's amazing.
To your just overwhelming point, I feel you on that. Like, I think I even said it to him afterwards after we finished, like, yo, like, I didn't know if it was just because I was in the moment that it just, all this shit just sounded so good. I'm like, damn, like, every song that was playing, I was just like, yo, is it just because I'm in the moment that it sounds as good or what? So yeah, it is nice to like just kind of have it afterwards and process it a little bit more and see like, nah, yeah, this shit actually is fucking good. Like, I think I do have slighter criticisms like after sitting with it for some time, but for the most part, man, this thing is super solid, like super solid. One of the things I wanted to say at that session, but I didn't say it because he didn't ask nobody fucking opinion. He just wanted us to come listen to it. But I did feel like it was a little long. I did feel like it ran a little long, and it's not like some of the songs were bad or anything like that. I just feel like maybe a couple of them could have been taken off, and not even taken off to the point like they don't fit, because I think everything fits in the overall scheme of what he was going for, the overall idea he was going for. It's just some of the sounds didn't really fit the album to me, like songs like Con Man, and then I didn't really, and Patterns to me, like this is to me. So for those,
God, man.
yeah, like the content. Now listen.
I'm sorry.
The content did, but it just it for me, y'all, like the song is good. Now that now the song is good.
Yeah.
Patterns is good, and it's a specific reason why I think Patterns is good. I don't know. It broke up the flow for me, and because it just and it's weird because I was playing it in the car with my wife, and she was just like, "This is so aggressive," and I was just like, "Is it?" I was like, "I guess it is." But then when we got the songs like that, it was lighter for her, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying that it kind of. I don't know, man. It just something about him that just kind of took me out of it a little
But
bit.
it felt necessary though.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It is
Okay.
necessary, but I still feel like I could have did without him. I do feel like that. I don't know for me if they fit to me on this album. The sound of them, not the content, which is why I agree with the necessary part.
Sonically, I think. It was
Sonically?
necessary. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anything on here was samey. That's why, I mean, I don't typically disagree with you hard when it comes to albums, but this one I disagree with you hard.
Okay.
And I just banged my glass into the mic. But yeah, I don't feel like this ran long at all. Like when he first sent this over, I was working and I threw this shit on, and the second it ended, I'm like, run that shit back. This is one of the best flowing albums I've heard in a long time.
Yep.
I don't hear anything on here that I would say, I could take that off. My only small, slight kind of tweak would be the one jam towards the beginning where he was like singing a bit. That could maybe be moved a little bit later in the album, but that is you putting a gun to putting a Snubnose to my head. I was thinking it. That was somebody putting a gun to my head and saying, pick something on here that you need to change.
Right.
I don't have a problem with any of this.
Yeah.
And those songs you named, the reason I think they work is because I don't really feel like this had an overly aggressive feel to it. I think that he definitely, like, even on like the early jam, like where he ends
Mama
the
Told
song by taking it down.
Okay.
Like he knows when to ease up. I'm not saying you're wrong, of course, because you did specify for you. But nah, man, I think that this was extremely well made. This is one of the best made albums I've heard in a really long time.
In my mind, 17 tracks would sound long. And I think I told him that. I was like, 17 tracks sounds like a lot. But when I'm listening to it, it goes together so well. And he's telling the story so concisely, like piece by piece by piece, that 55 minutes might as well be 20 minutes. Because I don't feel that hour.
Yeah.
Is it that long?
Yes, I think it's 55.
57.
57 something.
Yeah.
Almost a whole hour.
Yeah, no, I feel you, Ja, because it's like he brings you into his world. And you're walking that story with him through every fucking track. I definitely think it sounds aggressive. I don't think Grip is aggressive. Grip is aggressive on certain tracks. You know what I'm saying? But the sound to me is definitely aggressive, which is why I feel like he needs songs like Enemy, Con Man, and Patterns. I feel you, Rob, for you personally. You know what I'm saying? That, maybe some of those, whatever. But for me, I feel like that's why I said the word necessary. Like it was necessary to break up it's very loud. Like this album is very smack you in your face.
You felt that way about, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You felt that way about like A Soldier Story and The Locks? I didn't get a loud, overly aggressive feel from those songs.
I love Locks.
I love the Locks.
Money,
Man, I got like, like this is
hype hype.
Way
okay.
To be live.
jump around.
Yes.
Somewhere ignorant to that. Oh my
Man.
I guess I didn't get that from that.
From
I
the
just,
lot?
I just got like a.
Oh, yeah. It was hype / aggressive. Like it wasn't
got you.
Sonically as aggressive as some other
It
joints.
wasn't like beat your ass.
No, it wasn't beat your ass aggressive, but it was like in real life, you know, we might mosh pit it. You might catch a couple elbows.
You might
for sure.
get your
That's a
elbow
song like
or
that.
straight knee or something.
Like that shit is.
Yeah, because it's gonna get you hype.
I never got that from that. Okay.
That song gonna get you hype.
I mean, all of the songs I'm riding, I'm just like, man, this is good. But I never got like a.
If I
like
play
a
football,
God damn.
if
like,
I played football, that would be the song. I play in the locker
yes.
room before I go lay somebody the fuck out.
Or you in the weight room, you know what I'm saying? Putting it up. Hell yeah.
Damn, that's how you looked away.
Yeah.
It does have an exclamation point on it though.
It does.
It's
got two after that.
You might gotta add another one, Grip. You might gotta add another one.
Like riding Feefo, yeah, I was excited like listening to this because I'm like, damn, was I in the moment at the studio? But no, when I listened to this shit, I was like, oh yeah, nah. And then, like I started thinking back, like, oh yeah, I remember when I was like, I put the stank face on this joint, like the title joint. Oh my god, I had that stank face on that beat. I remember sitting next to him when I was like, yo, that's some fucking 3-6 shit right here you got.
I'm really surprised he didn't drop that as the single. Like,
Yeah.
that title track.
Well, maybe he will.
hard,
The album
bro.
hasn't. What, has he dropped a single at all?
Gutter was the first
Yeah,
song.
Gutter
that
was
was
the
released. They did a video for
I didn't
Gutter.
see
That was
it.
the first song they released.
Yeah, I was talking to him afterwards about it. Can you remember I said?
I think you did
Yeah,
mention
yeah,
that
yeah,
thing, and I
yeah.
still just forgot.
Yeah. And I remember they was talking about the sequencing was so important. And I'm just like, you know, of course, it's like you talk about it, but when you sit with it, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this shit is really sequenced really well. Like,
Yep.
I love the tracks like Calm Man and I love Patterns Man. I'm sorry. That shit was so soulful, man. I love and them drums.
Great way to end it.
That loud drums on
Yeah.
that shit. Even throughout this album, I love the fact that Grip is giving you, he's giving you his personal experience. He's giving you his demons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throughout this album,
Yeah.
life lessons. So I love that shit. Him being a father. Soldier Story is like one of my favorite joints on there because I love the storytelling on that. First, I love the beat. The beat is fucking amazing. And I love the storytelling on that. Just how him just talking about how he kind of got, thinking about quitting. You know what I'm saying? And then dropping Snubnose, about to make big moves with that. Then COVID hit. Walk through. I'm glad he got Eminem, a dope ass Eminem, he got Slim Shady. Like that was fucking Slim Shady. That was fucking rhyming.
No extra
on that
voices,
joint.
no extra like playing around. Shit,
Nothing.
just like rap.
Nothing. Yes.
Just rap.
Yes,
Like,
man. You had a good feature with Royce the 5'9".
Royce shit was
Yeah,
crazy.
Royce acted a
Royce's
fool.
verse was nuts
Man.
because,
It
like,
was.
I remember when we were there, I was like, I
don't-
didn't realize it was Royce. But when I listened to it again, I was still thinking that. I was like, this does not sound like Royce because it was like he was rapping, and then when the verse changed or the beat changed, and he came back and rapped some more.
I don't remember that.
but he was rapping different.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
like,
Whole different flow.
I was like,
And
who is this?
Did you remember that when we was at the list?
I did, but I thought
did.
it was. I thought it was Grip at the studio.
I just remember hearing the first beat, and then when the beat switched, I was like, "Wait a minute, I don't remember this." Holy shit!
Oh,
And he's
yeah, I
rapping-
remember it.
and he's rapping different too. So yeah, that
This was the third time, didn't it?
yeah, a little bit.
yeah.
I thought Kenny Mason with Penny, Steve Penny.
Yes,
Nigga, that nigga can. Hey,
Man.
some of these new Atlanta niggas, bro. Kenny Mason's in that. You know what I'm saying? To me, Jid, I can't call him new no more because he been out for a minute.
But
But
still,
still,
newer guys.
yes,
Yeah,
like
man.
Kenny Mason, Jid, and Grip. Oh my
Earth Gang.
God, Earth Gang.
I mean, they not new either to that extent,
Yeah.
but yeah, rapping ass
Man.
niggas, man. It's some
Bruh.
rapping ass niggas in Atlanta, like, don't play.
JD, I don't know what it stood for. The JDDTTINT.
Just don't die this time.
Okay, I love how that. I felt like that was a great like interlude, like a little like a halftime.
Yeah,
The
kind of break up
the
parts of the
the
album.
instrumental joint, it was placed real well, man. Like everything on this was placed well. I like Enemy. I think that's the name.
Oh, yeah, right, Enemy. Yeah,
Yeah.
right, Enemy with Rube.
That beat was fuck. Cause when I heard it, I was like, I remember I was like, how the fuck he gonna rhyme over this shit? But then he was
Right.
kind of like more, melodic and shit on there.
Very
I was like,
outcast.
yeah.
Man, that
yeah.
shit. I'm like, yo, Grip, dog.
Yeah.
Stop fucking niggas up, bro. Niggas not ready for all the shit you doing, bro.
Yeah, the musical elements throughout this whole project, man, is like amazing. In fact,
Shout out to
yeah,
Yo,
yeah, shout him out, man.
that
Two
nigga-
did his
Two
thing.
is special, man.
I kept just being like, yo, man, what the fuck, Because I was sitting next to him while he was listening to it. I was just like, yeah, that shit was just picking his brain and shit.
Nah, as big as this is for Grip, this is big for Two.
Yeah,
It's
hell
like,
yeah.
you
Just gonna
get
put
a
him on the
pro-
map.
I've been saying that shit for a long time, just as a fan. Like, as an artist, you gotta have your guy. You have to have at least one producer or a group of that know your sound, that gives you that thing. You can work with whoever you want to work with, but you got to have that person.
You got to have home base.
You got to have home base. If you got to have the Neptunes or 40
Beats by the pound,
or Dr. Dre, whatever it is, have the guy. And Grip has the guy.
Two did the whole album.
He did.
For like,
He said except for
like 2 or 3.
He said except for 2
or 3.
And there was some collaboration in some of the joints too.
Shout out to Beat Butcher. Beat Butcher was one of the collaborations.
Yeah, Beat Butcher.
I like that name.
I think Rocky. I think DJ Dahi.
DJ Dahi. Yep. DJ Dahi.
DJ
I remember
Dahi.
that.
So like, there's some collaborative efforts on here musically, but 2 is like a madman.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, 2's dope.
What you think of this, Ken? I know
Yeah,
because
you wasn't there.
That's right. You
No,
wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
Oh, so you got it the first time just through the link.
Yeah. And it was interesting because I think for me when I put this on, it kind of started a little slow for me, and then it kind of picked up as it went on. Because I think he was kind of setting the story, setting the stage, so to speak, and then it kind of picked up with IDFT.
Oh man,
The title track. Yeah.
And that fucking damn bass line he had on that was one way in one verse and it switched in another. That shit was, man, I had to stink face listen to that joint, man, because I haven't heard him up.
But you said it started slow, and the eulogy read with a question mark and exclamation, like
And Hands Up was pulled back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then IDFT right
Bare
behind
metal
that.
on like a prosthetic. What?
No, it was cool, but it didn't.
Like the cop said it. That is
Hands up. Yeah, it didn't have it didn't have a lot of energy. Like the way that
I slapped the fuck out these niggas.
Man.
it definitely picked up and got a little bit more. The pacing was a little bit more, elevated and a little bit more hype. Like you get the placebo and shit. And then it walked through the lots was fucking nuts. We already talked about that.
Yes.
But I liked how it kind of. I think the sequencing was great, and I thought the pacing on the album was great as well. And I love like the bookends, the intro with inner stage left or inner stage and the exit, because it really kind of set the tone for what you're gonna get as a complete project. I love how like he kind of really pulled all the way back and kind of closed and really allowed his artistic creative side to come through towards the end.
Yeah.
So he gave you all the rapidy shit like in the beginning and in the middle, but he kind of pulled back, was like, I'm gonna do some singing, I'm gonna do some more melodic shit, I'm gonna just do some other shit that I'm talented enough to do, and kind of break up the mold of what a traditional hip hop album, typically is.
Yeah.
And I love the artistry of Grip, and the more I play it, like the better and better it gets for me. And that's the thing that I love the most about this album, because it's just you don't get everything in one sitting. So yeah, he's definitely on some other shit with this shit.
I told him this when I first heard it at the listening that we did, I guess like June or July or whatever. I like that it ends with pennies, because the traditional rap album, to your point, is like in that pattern. It's the sentimental, like it's that song that you play at the end of your rap album, to let you know that you're still a human being and you have feelings and emotions. And this one, it was like he did that, but then came back with pennies and like hit you in the head one more time.
Are you
like,
not entertained?
If you weren't dead already, like I'm coming back to pick up the body to pour some more gasoline and set it on fire again, just to make sure you out of here.
That's a dope perspective.
Yeah.
That's definitely a dope perspective.
The clapping at the
clapping
end,
at the end,
and how it faded out and then it got louder.
Like,
yeah, man.
But even with that point, like that's a small thing, but I think it really represents a lot of Grip's whole career to this point, right? Because one of the best things about this album is not just the album itself, is that when you listen to this is the first time you ever heard Grip. And then you go back and listen to Snubnose, you're gonna be double fucked up. And then if you go back and listen to Porch, you're gonna be like,
where is this?
I was sleeping. I was sleeping
all fucking time. Like watching people all over the world feel stupid one by one is gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Man.
The clapping thing was interesting because he kind of explained it, like the whole idea of this being a play. And when he brought up Black Swan. And he was talking about how, like, in that movie, they do something similar. And it was like, when you listen to it, you feel that. Like, this whole idea of a twisted-ass play, and people are clapping for you, but it's like, do you really believe him? Is this really what's happening?
Right.
Is this really just in your mind?
Right.
Like, do you really clap for him? Like, it was just crazy. And when you listen to it, it really, really, really brings all that shit home.
Mhm.
And I told him then, I was like, man, even if you didn't tell us this, I feel like we would have walked away with this idea that this album was like a play.
Yeah.
It's sequenced so well, and the ideas are just there.
And the Eulogy Reds like kind of sets it up too,
Mhm.
like because he said like this is how this is gonna play out. So
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
this is super
And the
dope.
Eulogy
And I think
Red.
it's crazy too, like Snubnose in this, the way it ends to the beginning.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
died in
yo,
Snubnose, and then this starts off with the
Yes.
eulogy red.
Oh,
people
shit, I didn't
people
connect that.
clapping, and then
Yes.
the eulogy red.
Yes.
Eulogy come right
Which
in.
goes back to the title of the
Go
album.
back to the title.
Did
That's what I'm saying. Like,
did I die?
The way he
Yeah.
conceived this shit
Yes.
is like
Wow.
it's fucking brilliant.
I die for this?
I
You know
die
what I'm
for
saying?
this.
I
Like-
connected
There's
I
a
died for
question
this. I didn't
that-
connect the eulogy part from the last
From the
album.
last
I did not connect that.
Yep.
Yeah, the
That's
last
crazy.
thing, and you hear in Snubnose is the kid. You want to see what my uncle
Yeah.
did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kid gets shot, and then it goes, and then
And it go-
on Snubnose it would go
And the
back
eulogy
to the
red, yeah. That's
now
fucking
you go
That's
nuts,
fucking
man.
nuts,
It's
man.
crazy. Like
Well thought out, man.
Yo,
Well
calm
thought out.
down. Calm down, bro. Like,
I
what
know.
the fuck?
He's different, man.
And you know, I always talk about like my favorite artists, man. Like they gotta be, you gotta do shit with purpose. I told it to him in person, and I said it off of Snubnose that I feel like he's Atlanta's Kendrick, and I had to clarify it because he's like, man, I don't like when niggas say that shit. And I was like, look, bro,
It's
like,
never gonna end. That's just
Of course,
I
of course.
told him that before too. Like, you know, this is gonna be.
yeah, and it's not from a standpoint that you trying to bite or even emulate or nothing, because you are completely different.
Yeah. For sure.
However, your storytelling, your consciousness,
Your approach to music.
your approach to
Yeah.
music, you are Atlanta's version of that.
It's
bro.
a compliment, man.
100%, and that's what I mean it with the utmost respect. It's just I don't have another there's not another comparable.
Well, I mean, and let's be clear. Like Kendrick is the son of Lil Wayne and Andre and a bunch of other people too. So it's like to be in that. There's nothing wrong with being fruit on that tree.
Right, right.
That's the
100.
best tree.
Those are great. Those are
Yeah.
great trees
Like,
right
that's a
there.
great
Yeah.
tree. Like, be from that tree. Like,
Right.
I'm all for diversity and everyone wants to be different, but like,
Right.
don't be ashamed to be
Compared to
compared
legends.
to something that's because the people see that in you. Like, that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not somebody whack.
Yeah. We're not talking about
Right.
House and South Star.
Right.
or shit like that.
Right.
Like,
Atlanta's
Right.
version of Riff Raff.
Right.
shitting on Riff Raff.
I'm not shitting on Riff Raff.
Riff Raff ain't done nothing to nobody, man. He just trying to tiptoe in his jaws, man. Leave him alone.
the hook on Gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the first song they released, and I feel like, kind of to the point you were just making, if you just listen to Gutter for the first time, you might think, okay, like, why was this the first song? What was the thing about it that made this the first release from this album? Because he makes music that is purposeful, I feel like, kind of like Kendrick, there doesn't have to even really be a single, because to me, the single always sounds better in the context of the album than it does as a single. Like, as an individual song, okay, this is cool, I get it.
Yeah.
But how it plays into the other 16 tracks and what he's trying to say is like, what would you do if you came from the gutter to a game to get some change? What is it? Get some change in exchange for your struggle.
And then got snatched up by some whack motherfucker.
Because you, what is it? Because you sang about the pain that pertained to your colors that's meant to be appraised by some lame
Motherfuckers. Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
like that's some real shit. And like a lot of this album, he's talking about himself, but I feel like a lot of other creative people who have reached a certain level of success can probably relate to this whole thing too, outside of just relating to the empathy of an individual person, right? Clearly, he's an artist who's been frustrated with where
100.
he's
Of
been
course.
working on. He's been putting
Yeah.
out this kind of work and
not getting
not getting noticed
Yeah.
and not getting that type of respect. And a lot of artists might have that chip on their shoulder, but to be this talented and still have that feeling of like, what is this shit even fucking worth? Like, I could go do anything else in life except for rapping for a bunch of motherfuckers to tell me whether this shit is good or not. Like, I know what the fuck I am.
Right.
So it's like, I understand it from that standpoint too. Just like, he's putting it all on the table in this album.
And again, why it goes back to the title of the album. I died for this? Question
For
mark,
this?
exclamation. For this? For lame niggas to fucking tell me my shit whack? Bruh, like, hey, look, man. This
Just so I
is-
can get a couple dollars, so I can feed my family and take care of myself and make shit better for my people. Like,
That's what I wanted to say about patterns. It reminded me of what you were saying about your book or whatever, how he was just criticized his father.
hope I don't end up like David, and you lame if this end up in
The
an
affidavit, you know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, so yeah.
affidavit, yeah.
Yeah, but now I was just thinking about like how you know how we was talking about your
People
book
getting
and-
upset about
about what you put in it.
about them
Yeah.
getting ripped up.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
I thought that
hope
was
y'all
dope.
still cool with me after that book.
Damn. But no, I thought that was dope though. Also, like how he on Soldier Story, how he mentioned the Eminem stuff, and then the next song has him featured on it. I thought that was a good sequence there.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did that a couple times on here, man. That I thought was really, really dope.
Yeah, I thought the Soldier Story was a really interesting song to me because it kind of reminds me of like Seth Godin is like this marketer, but he has this book out, and it's called The Dip. And it's this concept, this idea that you'll rise fast, you'll plateau, and for a lot of people, it looks like you reach the end. You'll have a little bit of a dip, and then people tend to quit and get out, but they don't know that right after that, right behind that,
and that's what
there's
happened.
your second life, your second surge, and that's what it kind of reminded me of that concept, that idea that is like right when you think you've reached the end and there's nothing left, and it's like, oh man, I guess this is it. Like, what's next you can't see, but you have to persevere and be in the moment and believe in yourself in order to reach that next moment. And for him to drop Snubnose and thinking about quitting and then run all because of COVID and Eminem calls, like it was almost a wrap for him if he would have just walked away. So that was a really interesting, dope idea.
Hey, whoever's editing this motherfucker, look, bro, I'm gonna give you about 5. I don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas gonna have to edit that shit
just
out.
cut them off.
Hey, do what you the fuck you gotta do, nigga. But I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And for me, give me And a Eulogy Red, Hands Up, I Die for This, Placebo, Gutter, give me Pennies, and the Locks. And the Locks. Make sure the Locks is in there. Yeah, thank you.
You can't.
All right, my favorite tracks are, I think my favorite song on here is the title track, IDFT, which honestly, I didn't know what that meant until we got here. I was trying to figure that shit out, bro.
I dumb for this.
I was like, damn, what the fuck does that mean? Anyway,
What's I wish he wouldn't have figured it out because he might have really said that shit.
He probably would have.
So my favorite
So
track
is
Wait, did he do the same thing for the Vince Staples? For the
yep.
I did too. I did.
But yeah, Placebo, fucking The Lots is probably my second favorite song on here. Pennies. Damn.
It's like that.
It is,
Yeah.
man.
It's like that.
Sign
Fuck,
of a
give me
good
hands
album.
up. Hands
Sign
up.
of a good album.
Good problem. Hands up.
Sign of a
Yeah.
good
Very
album.
Yeah.
So give me the title track, I Die for This. Give me Placebo. Give me Walk Through. I like that Glenwood freestyle. That was hard. Did I say The Locks? And The Locks. Give me that. That's my 5.
My joints is I Die for This, title joint, of course. A Soldier Story, Locks, Patterns, and Placebo.
Damn, it's crazy because I haven't even thought about. I wish I had the stats on here to see which songs I played the most. I played it all the way through, but like, we're gonna go with I Die for This. I'm actually gonna pick Just Don't Die this time. I'm gonna pick that one. The Locks, Con Man. That's 4, right? And Patterns.
I am going Hands Up, Gutter, Walk Through, The Locks. Shit.
Yeah, I would say you backed yourself.
I did. Fuck. I'm gonna go Patterns. Yeah.
Grip, if you watching, nigga, look. Amazing fucking project, but the clock starts now. And the reason why I say that is, to Josh's point, people are going to be feeling stupid as hell that they never heard of you. They're going to hear you because of the Marshall Mathers, Eminem co-sign, you signed the Shady and all of that shit. Your work before this, impeccable. This one, impeccable. The next one cannot drop off. I don't have any worries about it because I've listened to pretty much your entire catalog and it's been at this level for a very long time. But the clock starts now. Motherfuckers are going to be judging you after this. You know what I'm saying? Shut them niggas up, bro.
Grip, if you're watching, dope album, man. I really enjoyed my listen. And congrats on the signing, man. I think that's gonna be interesting and a good look for you, for your talents to be definitely reach more people. But yeah, man, I think that on this one, you showed me like the beginning of the total package. of what you have as an artist. And I think that with your abilities, you can do much more in terms of putting together a project than I imagine, because I don't know what you're thinking. So I think that's going to be dope to kind of watch your career kind of grow and expand from here, just listening to your older work and the things you did there, and then fast forward into now, present day, and listening to this, and it's like there's so many things that you can do. But right now, just focusing on this album, I think this is a good introductory to a lot of new people that's going to come across you, but I also think it definitely sets the stage for where you can go. So yeah, I enjoyed this. This was great, and that's it, man.
Grip, if you're watching, first and foremost, man, appreciate you inviting us to the listening session, man. That was super dope to have a kind of inside look into that before we actually reviewed it. You're an amazing MC, man. I thought that from Snubnose, and I think that here, I think this is a really, really good Shady debut. Even though I have my criticisms, I don't want that to be the thing that stands out in this review. B just kind of backed me in the corner to kind of highlight why I thought those things. But I mean, it's a very small gripe because like I said, the songs still fit. They still fit. It's just for me and my listening ear right now, it just felt a little long for me. But, that could be now and later. The more I listen to it, it may not feel like that, because Ja made a really good point of how, in the traditional sense of an album, like how, you kind of, give a lighter song, but then what you did was did the lighter song and then brought it back with, was it Pennies? Yeah, Pennies, Extra Stage. So yeah, that was a really dope point that he made. So that in itself is making me reconsider, like just really going back and kind of listening to this a little differently and see if it still feels that way. But all in all, man, this project is really good, man, and much success to you as you start down this new journey. And thank you for the dope music, bro.
Yes, Grip, if you watching, man, thank you for this amazing piece of art. This was definitely dope. And just I echo Rod, thanks for inviting us to get us a preview of this album. Man, the fact that you definitely went different route with boundaries, as far as like not only just a hip hop artist, but like a southern hip hop artist. Most people would hear this, and they were thinking like, damn, this dude is from the South, he's from Atlanta. Like, you break that boundaries automatically. Even with Snubnose, the fact that you have very thought-provoking song ideas, the way you structure your albums, everything about this is amazing. And for this to be your Shade debut, of course, everyone always have their speculations of, oh man, the artist on Shade debut, how the album gonna sound like? Is it gonna be quality? No, this shit right here, probably the best Shady debut you can come up with. This is gonna be it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta speak that shit up, man. So, but great job. I have no doubts that whatever you do in the future is gonna be dope, man. So keep up the great work. And two, shout out to you, man, producing the fuck out of this damn album, man. Like I said, talking to you, listening to this shit, man. Like just picking your brain and the fact, what was you thinking in certain tracks? The way you was producing this shit is fucking amazing, man. So good job on that shit as well.
Gripper, if you're watching, I'm proud of you, bro. You did that shit. You did what the fuck you were supposed to do. And like, I don't think anybody that heard your music would ever doubt it, but you really pulled this shit off, man. And like I told you before, I apologize for shorting you your 0.5. I should have gave you your 9 out of 10 from the beginning, at least. Because I tried to give you 8.5 at first, and that was my party foul. It was ignorant. It was ignorant. But I'm a big enough man to admit when I was wrong. And I told him at the time, I said, you know what? I'm gonna give you 8.5, but I reserve the right to come back in 48 hours and give you another 0.5. And I hit him like the next day. He was like, yeah, all right, you got it.
All right, you fine. Here.
He's like, here. That's me fucking up. Like, the store's gotta go back and I give you the extra half of Myke. Like, stop playing. That's the classic. All right, I know.
Right.
I'm just happy that we got this, man. I appreciate it. I'm a fan. Like that's how we even met, is because I'm a fan of this shit and I want to see you win. And this is a good way to win. You put out an album like this is a real good way to do some winning. And just let's go kill this shit, man. Like it's stages to hit, it's people to touch. The fact that you got a chance to already be out on the road with Jid and see people react to Snubnose, and I think it feels like you brought a lot of that to this album, that experience to this album, and kind of kept that energy where I can see a bunch of Slovakian white boys jumping around the mosh pit
with Bugle Boy sweaters
with
on.
Bugle Boy sweaters on, all kinds of shit. Like I can see all of that shit happening to this album, but then also niggas like us can sit around here and talk about how much we appreciate the lyricism and the creativity and the songwriting and just what you brought to this record, man. So this is gonna be one of them ones. Like you got 2 classics under your belt, bro. Like legitimately, you probably have 2 classics under your belt, and like this is where we start, and this is where we jump it off at, man. I appreciate you. Congratulations. It's a lot of work to do. Let's get it.
Yeah, following what everybody's already said, I don't know that I have that much more to add, but all I can say is B hit it on the nose with this probably being the best Shady debut that's come out. This album is seriously incredible. From the production to the wordplay to the rhyme schemes to everything, to the delivery, all of this shit was just, it was stuck in like a fucking puzzle, and it came together just absolutely beautifully. I do disagree with the guys a little bit as far as it being aggressive all the way through. I feel like this definitely had a range of feeling and emotion to it. Some songs had me, all this, and some songs just had me giving that kind of slow bop. And that's the kind of shit I appreciate. This was not a monotone album. This was not a one feeling album. I feel like you put a lot into this, and it really came through for the listener. Listening to it in the studio, I was already like, wow, this is a fucking dope album. But listening to it at home and really being able to take it in, it just came through that much harder. And yeah, man, the fact that you went up this far from Snubnose, I cannot wait to see what the hell is up your fucking sleeve for the next project. You already know it, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, you're special. You and 2 are special. And y'all's chemistry is just incredible. Y'all are Martin and Gina up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Little Martin, I love the Martin reference.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm really, really excited for people to hear this, because we've had to sit here and be relatively quiet about this album.
Very quiet.
So I'm excited to hear what people got to say about this. So yeah, great job.